Whew. What's good, y'all? It was a good day. Then it started raining, wind nearly blew me away, and then close to the end of my shift, a protest is going on. A Palestinian protest. I'm sure you guys are already fully aware of what's going on, but it was crazy. It was like thousands of people out there, and it's like, I went out there previously, and there was nobody out there. I saw like cops, I saw like dudes on them little dirt bikes, you know, directing traffic and stuff like that. But then like, I turned the corner again and just like hella people. It was so crazy how like fast it progressed. But on my way home, it started raining again, like, but this time like way more crazy. I couldn't walk down the normal street that I wanted to walk down because again, it's like 10,000 protesters outside. It's crazy. It's a lot going on in the world right now, so you know, I just hope you guys just stay up to date, protect yourself, and above all else, love yourself and love your fellow man. Let's create a peaceful environment, a peaceful world, and you know, let's just all be happy. I hope this all ends soon. I hope the war in Israel ends. I hope the one in Ukraine ends. I hope we all could just come together and love each other. We are one race, human race.
Hello, swag. Yet again, your feeble upper body strength betrays you, Boomerang.
Shark, hold up! It's a... Holly! Get us out of this! Harley! Do not touch us!
But you saying I can't really makes me want to, you know?
No!
Harley, no!
Worth it.
Suicide Squad not only kills the Justice League, but quite possibly Rocksteady as well. Suicide Squad is the long-awaited follow-up to Batman Arkham Knight, which was the epic conclusion to the Arkhamverse trilogy, depending on who you ask. Me personally, I really love the game. I thought it was legendary. I had no issues with it. Yeah, they might have overused the Batmobile, but who cares? Who cares? It was a great game. Unfortunately, I can't say the same about Suicide Squad. This game sucks. So in the game, the Earth is being invaded by none other than Brainiac, a super powerful and all-knowing villain who seeks to terraform the Earth and create a new version of his homeworld known as Kolu. Not only does he wipe out almost all of Metropolis, like literally 99.98% of Metropolis, he also defeats and corrupts the Justice League, literally in a matter of days. All of that sounds cool, but none of it is seen. We don't see when Brainiac arrives. We don't see when the Justice League go toe-to-toe with him. We don't even see Justice Day. It's all like word of mouth or whatever you listen to in the audio files. It's always like, oh yeah, look at the ship in the sky, boom, 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 boom. It's never seen. After everything is all said and done, a woman by the name of Amanda Waller, she is the director of a secret government agency known as Argus. She travels to Arkham Asylum to recruit 4 criminals in the form of Deadshot, King Shark, Captain Boomerang, and Harley Quinn. She sends them on a suicide mission to kill the Justice League. How does she do this? She lines them all up, has a conversation with them, and is like, here's your ticket out of here. Each of them fights for the bomb. They jab each other in the neck. Now the bomb's implanted and Amanda Waller has complete and utter control over the Suicide Squad. All the Justice League members that they have to kill are Batman, Green Lantern, Flash, and Superman. Wonder Woman is the only one who was not corrupted in any way, shape, or form. All of this sounds so cool. Like, it sounds like they really had a great concept. It sounds like they were really cooking up something phenomenal, but it's just like the execution is terrible. The game is just superbly undermined by its live service elements. The whole game revolves around you doing these dozens of tedious, boring, samey missions that require you to upgrade your guns and upgrade your character and add weapons mods and shields and things like that. That's what the whole game is centered around. Doing missions that will upgrade your character, and ultimately after you do a lot of these boring, same filler missions with their own little tweaks and difficulty, over time, that's when the story progresses. At the end of every mission, you get a random loot drop that comes with a gun, possibly a grenade, a shield mod, whatever. Every single mission ends with you getting these loot drops. And now these loot drops ultimately become very superfluous because they do nothing to enhance combat. They're the same type of gun. They either do a little more damage or very little. And then at the end of the day, you're just sitting on all of these weapons that you're not even using. You don't even need more than half of the weapons that you get from these random drops, and the drops suck. All these missions that you have to do, tedious, boring, same missions that you do, are all mandatory. The whole game is just centered around character progression, and it is frustrating. This game, honestly, trying to tell a good story and be a live service game is like some idiot trying to put pineapple on pizza. It's just terrible. It does not work. Everything is just upgrade this, shoot that, and you keep doing the same thing over and over again until ultimately you decide that the game is boring and you don't want to play it anymore, and you make that decision pretty fast. So the open world of Metropolis is, can't even lie, it's pretty beautiful. It's really pretty to look at, especially during the daytime. However, it's lifeless. There's nothing going on. The only thing that's going on in that city is the same recycled enemies showing up over and over and over again. And honestly, if you just like doing it, then this is the game for you. But I kind of get tired of just jumping and floating above rooftops and shooting the same enemies that just get spawned in every single time, all day, every day. It's boring. Speaking of enemies, let's talk about the Justice League, or lack thereof. So the first member of the Justice League that we meet is Green Lantern. Once you're officially acclimated, with Suicide Squad and your character, you are thrown into Metropolis, where Brainiac has his city under siege and pretty much under his control, and you run into Green Lantern. Now, that's when things start to get a little more interesting. They notice that something is wrong with his eyes, he's looking weird, he's talking weird, and that's when they slowly figure out that something else is going on, and this mission really ain't what it seems. The Flash, who is still himself at this point in the story, sort of races in and distracts Green Lantern while the Suicide Squad is in his custody. They go off and fight, the Suicide Squad is released, and then there's a small fight between Green Lantern and the Flash that leaves the Flash incapacitated. After you fight off a small wave of enemies to protect the Flash, we get off the streets and we enter a museum titled The Batman Experience, where we get an entire exhibition from beginning to end of the entire Batman Arkham trilogy. And obviously, this is where we meet Batman. And his body count is high. No cap, he ain't fucking around. This crazy motherfucker is killing everyone. Like, there's bodies everywhere. Legs broke, neck broke, eyes gouged, batarangs holding their bodies up, throwing batarangs in people's neck, mangling people up and just destroying them. Like, Batman is tripping in this game. Like, he too far gone. So after he knocks out all the squad members one by one, he pretty much starts talking to Green Lantern, and then he says something like,
"Let their corpses strike fear into those who'd resist."
Yo, that's pretty wild, Batman. Sheesh. Just before he shoots Harley Quinn in the head, the Flash uses the last of his strength to save her life, and Batman, as a result, nearly beats him to death before he's interrupted by Brainiac via little communication radio. Sometime after that, you spend time recruiting members of what they call the support squad. So you recruit the Penguin, who gets guns for you. Then you recruit Toyman, who offers weapons and traversal and shield modifications and all kind of stuff like that. Then you recruit Poison Ivy, who in this game is a child after she died in Batman Arkham Knight. She has faint memories about the squad and about everything, but ultimately she's a whole new person. And the last member is Hack, and Hack is responsible for upgrading your talent tree, a bunch of other stuff that I can't remember. All of these members of the support squad are very integral to getting essential weapons and modifications and upgrades to help boost you up and make you stronger as you play through this boring ass game. After you do enough tedious, boring, lazily crafted missions, you unlock 2 boss fights, the Flash and Green Lantern. Now, I do not agree with IGN when they said the Flash is too fast, because that doesn't make any sense. If he wasn't fast, then what would he be? If he was too slow, you'd say he's not fast enough. Make it make sense. He's the Flash. If he ain't going by in a flash, then what the hell is he doing? Come on now. But I do agree with them when they say that it's kind of hard to tell where he is. There's no indication of where he goes. He's just kind of zipping around like fast as hell. But with enough effort, eventually you do stop him. Once you rain down a hailstorm of bullets, you do kill him. And his death is pretty damn lackluster, if I must say so myself. But once you get that last shot off, he just drops. Look. You see that shit? You're kidding me. He just drops. So after this, we are introduced to the multiverse, where there are multiple different timelines where Metropolis is completely decimated and conquered by Brainiac. In one particular alternate Metropolis that we land in, we meet another Lex Luthor, because our Lex Luthor, unfortunately,
Would you look at that?
bro, you literally could have done that to all of them. This new Lex Luthor, when you bring him back to our universe, he's going to help you upgrade your guns and provide you with the resources and knowledge that you need to kill the Justice League. Of course. So before we go after Green Lantern, we are given a yellow lantern ring mod of some sort. It literally just sticks to your gun, and as soon as you stick it on your gun, you immediately have a fully functioning Green Lantern killing weapon. Now you can go after him. But the second the boss fight starts, that thing becomes insignificant. The same thing happens with the Flash. Lex Luthor, he has this Speed Force power disruptor thingy, gizmo thing in his hand, and he uses it against the Flash. Boomerang does the same thing. The only time we see what it actually does is in a cutscene. When we're actually fighting the Flash, to my knowledge, the only thing that's slowing him down are my counter shots and my bullets. The speed disruptor thingy, it's not even there. Like, it's just irrelevant. It's completely forgettable. It's not at the forefront of these boss battles, so it doesn't even really matter. Killing Green Lantern segues into Superman's arrival, which is pretty decent. I ain't gonna lie, I got like that many goosebumps. So a massive fight breaks out between Superman and Wonder Woman. At the same time, the Suicide Squad are trying to save Amanda Waller. She just tried to nuke Brainiac's ship after King Shark took Green Lantern's ring, harnessed the power of the Green Lantern, created a giant shark construct, infiltrated the shield, broke the shield. As soon as she got an opening, she fired off a nuke and was ready to kill us all with no problem. And now she's shouting over the radio, "Come save me, come help me, please, or I'ma kill you." Bitch, are you serious? So at the end of the fight scene, Wonder Woman jams a thick piece of kryptonite in Superman's chest, like right here in between the O and the V, right here in his chest. So it's damn near in his heart. That's how deep it is, right? But it does nothing to him. Wait, huh? It just pisses him off. and then he uses his heat vision and he laser eyes her to death. And that is honestly the only moment in the game that has any kind of emotional impact whatsoever. Even though she went out like a G, it's just kind of meaningless. Then Superman, he's still kind of feeling the effects of the kryptonite, but it doesn't kill him. And he just kind of sonic booms back to Brainiac's ship, where he's gonna heal and come back and eventually, hopefully, tear some shit up. Sometime after that, we track down the Batcave, where there's a pre-recorded video of Batman describing some anti-Justice League weapons that he created just in case the Justice League ever went bad for any reason. The video cuts out and the whole environment changes due to the fact that the Suicide Squad are now under the influence of Batman's fear toxin. Then he leads them astray by telling them to essentially flood the Batcave with more fear toxin by pulling down these valves and unleashing it entirely so that Batman can ultimately destroy their minds. But things change, however, when Harley Quinn flexes her degree and somehow the squad is just fine. 0 sense. Then Batman's boss fight is just a giant juiced up Batman full of fear toxin, similar to Scarecrow in Arkham Asylum, and all we have to do is shoot the giant Batman to death until Batman pretty much just lays there unconscious. Wow. After Batman's weak-ass boss fight, they return to LexCorp with Batman so that Lex can run some tests on him. Then later on, Lex comes back and is like, hey, I got some gold kryptonite for you to kill Superman. And yes, of course, that gold kryptonite is just laced on their bullets. And weirdly enough, they are taped and roped all over their bodies. For why? I don't know. They drag Batman out to a park where...
Are we done with your bad stand-up routine?
Almost. But you always gotta end on your best joke.
This shit is giving me a headache. And this action ultimately draws out Superman. Now, instead of Superman simply just decimating them in one sweep, he just flies around, throws cars at you, starts saying lines like he really has anything to say at all, and the squad just shoots him. Just shoots him with the gold kryptonite, just until he just...
All your weapons, your toys, your humans.
That's it. That's the end of Superman. Once you take down the final Justice League member, Brainiac shows up after all this time, finally. But it just gets worse from there. Just when you think things are about to turn around, they just get worse. So in Brainiac's boss fight, which comes a little bit later, they travel to the multiverse to confront him, and then pretty much all he does, instead of showing us his raw power and just how easy it was for him to corrupt the Justice League, all he does is transform into a version of the Flash, and we are fighting the Flash again. Everything the Flash did in his boss fight, minus the tornadoes, he is just zipping around the map, zipping around the arena, and we gotta wait for a little blue indicator shit to counter him, and then pretty much that is it. We are fighting the Flash again, when we are supposed to be fighting Brainiac. This shit is stupid. It's just horrible. The game pretty much ends with the Suicide Squad being overjoyed and enthusiastic about traveling through the multiverse and tracking down and killing the remaining 12 Brainiacs. Damn, we gotta do this 12 more times, bruh. Yep, this game is pretty terrible. From the writing, from some of the dialogue, the jokes that don't land. the boss fights, like it really is just a lackluster effort. It's creatively stagnant, and it's definitely not worth the $75 that I paid for it. That's a steep ass price, and I don't necessarily regret it, but shoot, I kind of wish I still had those $75. You just do the same mandatory filler missions over and over again, upgrading your arsenal, upgrading your character, upgrading your guns, upgrading the shield mods, upgrading it, just upgrading everything. The whole game's just centered around shooting and upgrading. That's it. Now the game is fun, but you know, for how long? How long can anyone go on playing the same thing? At the end of the game, you have these 3 end game missions that are, oh my god, the same. You just fight waves and waves and waves of enemies, and they want you to do it on the highest difficulty. Every single difficulty on it, it's a long ass list. They want you to do that same ass mission, each of them on the hardest difficulty. So you have to keep playing them over and over again until your character is like level 2,000. Ain't nobody doing that, man. Well, at least I'm not doing it. I can tell you that right now. I'm not doing that. I personally think that somewhere deep down in this game, in the ones and zeros, somewhere in the polygons or whatever, I genuinely believe that there's potential there. But that potential will never see the light of day. Like, it's done. My final rating for Suicide Squad is a 5 out of 10. It's really a 4.5 out of 10. But since the game genuinely made me laugh more than once, the character models are pretty fire, the graphics are pretty fire, the performances are amazing, it's at a steady 5. So if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, share, subscribe. Let me know what you thought about the game. If you thought the same things, then I don't know, feel free to share anyway, but you don't have to. I'll put my social medias down in the description. Please follow. Again, tell your aunts, your uncles, your sisters, your brothers, your in-laws, your dog, your cat, your guinea pig, your parrot, whatever bird you got, whoever's in your family, tell them about the review, bring them to the channel so that they can get more quality content, stay up to date. Hit that bell button as well. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video.